You might assume that having more money would make life calmer, less stress, more options, more room to breathe. And yet, one of the most common secret moments people have that fall apart financially isn't when money is tight. It's when money actually arrives. A big payment comes in, income increases, a client says yes, a deal closes. And instead of relief, something in the body tightens. People don't always talk about this out loud, but they feel it. A subtle agitation, a spike in pressure, a dread in the pit of the stomach, a sense that they need to now move faster or prove something or justify the money in some way or figure out immediately what to do with it so that it doesn't disappear. And this is not greed, and it isn't irresponsibility. It doesn't live in the mind at all. It's a capacity issue within the nervous system. And before I unpack that, I do want to make this video as personally applicable as possible. Different nervous systems organize differently under pressure. Some will push forward, some adapt and pivot quickly, some move into thinking, some attune to others. In our work, we call these orientations the skins: the warrior, the shapeshifter, the sage, or the asset. And they're not personality types or labels. They're pressure strategies. So if you're curious how your nervous system tends to handle pressure, because receiving money is just one place that pressure is going to show up. And whether you default toward a warrior, a shapeshifter, a sage, or an asset, there's a short, free Somatic Skins Quiz assessment linked in the description below. It's not going to tell you what to do with your money. It will show you how your system organizes when the heat is on and it gets real, which is what income can do really quickly. Now, let's talk about why receiving money can feel harder for some than not having it. Scarcity is a familiar pressure for many. People know how to function inside of it. Their nervous system has a budget strategy for it, if you will. They know how to brace, to hustle. They know how to worry or plan or survive. And even if it's exhausting, it's known. Income, especially new income as an entrepreneur, introduces unfamiliar pressure. So when money arrives, especially in a big lump sum, expectations arrive with it. Maybe you'll feel a greater sense of responsibility or visibility. You're suddenly more visible. The future feels more real. The excitement fades and the system starts tracking consequences. What if it goes away? Now what? How long will this last? What will I lose it? What does this say about me now? The nervous system doesn't experience that as abundance. It experiences it as change and load. And if the system doesn't yet have the capacity to hold change or load, it reacts. Some people will immediately spend it, or they'll even give the money away. Some feel compelled then to over-deliver, to overwork, or prove somehow that they deserved it. Some freeze and they'll avoid looking at their accounts. Some become anxious and hypervigilant, checking numbers constantly. Some feel guilty for having more than others. They don't want to be one of those people. And some then feel an urge to expand too fast. All of those reactions are attempts to regulate pressure. What's destabilizing isn't the money itself. It's the mismatch between increased demand and the system's ability to stay organized underneath of that demand. And this is why people will often say things like, I'm just better at growth when I'm struggling, or man, things fall apart just when I start doing well, or I can make money, but I don't relax once I have it. Those aren't beliefs. They're observations of a nervous system hitting its current capacity ceiling. From a somatic perspective, receiving money asks the system to do something very specific, to stay present, grounded, and coherent while holding more responsibility and uncertainty at the same time. If the body can't do that yet, it will try to offload the pressure in whatever way it knows how to do. This is subconscious. And it's also why advice like just save it or be grateful or don't overthink it tend to fall really flat because those suggestions live in the conscious mind. The reaction is actually happening in the body. So when capacity increases, receiving money will also start to feel different. The body will stay more settled, breath will remain available to you, and attention doesn't immediately spin towards a future worry or threat. Decisions then can slow down enough to be clean. There's room to choose instead of just react. And that shift, it doesn't come from changing your relationship with money intellectually. It comes from increasing your system's ability to be with it, to hold load without destabilizing. And once that capacity is there, something interesting happens. Income will stop feeling like something you have to manage nervously, protect aggressively, or get rid of quickly. It becomes something that you can actually receive in a felt, meaningful, and solid way. If this resonates, it doesn't mean that you're bad with money. It means that your nervous system hasn't yet been trained to hold this particular flavor of pressure. And that's completely solvable, trainable. Remember, if you want orientation first to the starting conversation around how your nervous system tends to organize when pressure rises, including money, the Somatic Skins Quiz linked below will help you see that more clearly. But then to go deeper, if you want to build the capacity to receive without destabilizing, or you work with clients on this exact thing as a somatic professional, that's the work that we do inside the Prestige. Not through rules or restrictions, but by training the body and the mind to stay coherent as load increases. Because receiving money isn't about worthiness at all. It's about capacity. And when capacity catches up, the system stops flinching when abundance shows up. Thanks for joining me this far. Please do consider liking and subscribing. It helps out the channel, and I'll see you next time.